Okay, so now we're going to move on to the last shield side attack out of this basic set of 6. And this is the low shield side attack. You probably figured that out already. So what it entails is hitting the guy in the leg. And as you might have guessed, it looks like this. There we go. And you'll notice that this is not a wrap attack, or at least it doesn't have to be. What you do, you just have to notice which part of him is open. It's usually the shin. And then you just go straight in. Right on the leg. Right on the leg. Now, an important thing that I want to review here is the motion you need to have when throwing this kind of straight attack. So what you're not doing is hacking like this. You're not just swinging around in a big arc. What you have to do is project forward into your opponent. So I'll demonstrate high on the chump shoulder attack that I showed you earlier. You're not doing this. For one thing, it's really dangerous. Instead, what you do is, with your hand right here, you move forward, leading with your hand, then you extend into the shoulder, like this. And if you have really strong wrists, or really limp wrists, what you can do is you can even let your sword hang down a little bit. So if your shoulder's a little bit more protected by a shield, I can even try to let it go like that. See, my hand is higher than my sword. However, often what you will find is that you will lose control of your sword, and it will just fly out of your hand, and then you'll look like an idiot. So use that at your own risk. Now, when you're going for the shin, it's a similar idea. And one thing I should stress here is that you want to have the same setup regardless of which line you're attacking on. Because if I set up like this versus like this versus like this, it's pretty easy for me to tell what I'm going to be attacking. Now, of course, you can use that to fake your opponent out and set up like this and then attack the shoulder. But basically, you want to be able to launch any attack from the same position. So when I'm attacking the leg, I start with the same triangle defensive posture. And then I lead with my hand, and my sword follows. And you'll notice, if you look at it from the back a little bit, that my sword describes basically an arc as I attack him. You don't really have to do that. It might be better just to go as straight in as possible, but it's pretty hard to avoid doing some kind of arc. You want to avoid, however, doing an enormous semicircle. So as direct as possible, makes it as quick as possible, and many times as powerful as possible. Hitting the guy in the leg, it looks like this. As direct as possible, makes it as quick as possible, and many times as powerful as possible. You want to have the same setup regardless of which line you're attacking on. Because if I set up like this versus like this versus like this, it's pretty easy for me to tell what I'm going to be attacking. Project forward into your opponent. You're not doing this. What you do is, with your hand right here, you move forward, leading with your hand, then you extend